So you can't see the holes now, but you can see where they plugged the holes, where the fire department basically had to cut into the building in order to put the fire out. So that whole black front, you see where the metal transfers to the black, that was all a big gaping hole. The top there was a big gaping hole, and on the side here was also a big gaping hole. That's actually where the flames were kind of shooting out. So what used to be here, this was like our promotional window, so we had these light boxes with posters from the show. They had to rip them out in order to do the dry out. You can also see where they ripped out all the drywall above our heads in order to, again, dry out the space from the water damage. If you come a little bit over here, you can see we still have some of the pieces from the roof that the fire department had to rip off in order to put the fire out. So this used to be our kitchen area. This was actually our refrigerator right here, and we had a washer and a dryer, and they had to take it all out. We're still determining whether they're recoverable or whether they're going to be considered totaled. You can kind of see where the water damage has destroyed the cabinetry, which we'll have to replace all of that, and the electrical in this room as well. So the fire was actually in the turret up there, and we can look at that in a little bit. In here was the reception area for the offices, and the hoses were actually in the walls, just pouring water down here. Completely took out everything that was here and all the computers and all the paperwork and everything that was in this space. So this is one of our offices, and pretty typical of the condition of all of our offices. This was the marketing department. You can see that we had to tear out the carpet and throw it out because it was completely waterlogged. When you walked in, you just had that squish under your feet when you walked in here. We had 2 people in this office, so the bookshelves, the computers, the desks, even the ceiling tiles, we'll have to reconstruct and replace just about everything in here. Because this was an electrical fire, the fire department has actually asked us to keep electricity off on anything that we weren't able to get certified by an electrician until such time as it's certified by an electrician. So you can see here all the circuits that they've gently encouraged us not to use until such time as we've had an electrician verify it. Maybe the most painful part of all of this is that the biggest part of what we lost is probably our archives. So these are programs from our 66 years of history. You can see they're completely drenched, and we'll have to figure out if we have enough money there's a process that they can try and restore this stuff, but if not, we might lose it all.
Wow, and some of this dates back to 2001 and even before.
Oh, the archives go way before. The archives go all the way back, all 66 years.
Wow.
This is our main room for the camp. This is where the kids come and they do their morning warm-ups and they do their rehearsals, and so this is the room that we need to make sure that is completely rebuilt and safe. It was like a swimming pool in here. It was at least ankle deep. So this was costume storage and archives, and the fire was actually right over here inside the turret. So you can see the electricians, they left out the wire that caused the fire. Apparently the power surge melted the covering and they touched each other and it exploded. And in here you can see in a moment, you'll see where the fire was in the wall. And the only reason why we didn't have worse damage was because there was no oxygen. This was all sealed. And all the damage you're seeing on the outside here and up here is actually the fire department cutting everything away in order to get in and put the fire out. But it's a small miracle because, as I said, this was all costumes and papers and stuff, and it really was a miracle it didn't catch. So as you can see, the one saving grace was that the fire did not touch the performance space at all. And this, the set of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, was spared. So we're able to continue, once we were able to reset the fire system, we were able to continue the performances and continue to give smiles to the audience and at least something good amongst all this craziness.